ladies and gentlemen, members and friends of the People's Action Movement.
Don't say Pam, just say unity. Hell no!
East Bastia, are you ready for me? I will see to it that East Bastia must be counted. We will put on our hats and we will put on our walking shoes and touch every single household, every alleyway, hear from our people and let them know what we are about. Let them know what Natasha Gray Brooks is all about. Putting people first.
Isaac Pam, Sean is my leader, and me ain't changing. So I reaffirm my commitment to this great party, the People's Action Movement. I reaffirm my commitment to Team Unity, and I pledge to continue to keep the promises that I made. I don't care who they send in Central Bastia, Central Lock.
A convention to reflect, to think. Somebody said to talk the truth. Talk the truth. Talk the truth.
Yeah. And I said to you, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family of Pam, choose hope over despair. Choose unity over division. Choose inclusion over exclusion. Choose servant leadership over dictatorship. Choose integrity over dishonesty. Choose the People's Action Movement in this constituency.
I have seen this young man from humble beginnings in Sandy Point at work, both in opposition and in government. And I say today with no fear of contradiction that Sean has kept the promise.
We have a leader in the Honorable Sean Richards. He held the fort, strong and fearless, when he stood alone in opposition in Parliament.
My one inspiration going forward is to ensure that the gains we have achieved over the last 7 years are consolidated, preserved, and built upon. We stand here today on a proud record in government. We have achieved many things in your name. We shall move forward and on our feet and not on our knees. We shall be fearless and we shall be feared.
We happen to be in government in a coalition. PAM, however, is the oldest party in this coalition, the strongest party in this coalition, and of course contributes to all of the major decisions of the government that benefit the people in our country.
And when you hear about an increase in salary for civil servants, you know that we were all in cabinet when the cabinet of your government made that decision. While we are here in Constituency 4 tonight, you would have elected, as you just heard, a champion of a man in Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant. The Virtuals High School has benefited from $30 million from the CDB in terms of building out and upgrading the TVET centers. And when I say TVET, I mean the home economic centers. And something good is happening in constituency number 4.
Members, friends, supporters, I want to tell you tonight the kind of things I did do. So I started a breakfast program. The program has been so good that they reached out to me from the Virtuous High School and said they wanted me to do it at the Virtuous High School. The young people, through me, have started a HARP program, H-A-R-P, a homework and reading program. When the number got to 60, Mandy told me, Mandy said, Master, tell me, Mr. Grant, we can't go no more. 60. We only have 16 volunteers to deal with 60 people, so we have to cut it. You understand representation in this constituency? Grant again!
And today we are happy because the best representation that you have ever received in this constituency has been from none other than Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant. The People's Action Movement has been a champion of unity throughout the history of this country. We have been at the vanguard of every major push, every major development in this country. The time has come for me to say again to all of those who have strayed from the People's Action Movement to come back home. St. Kitts and Nevis doesn't belong to any one individual. It belongs to all of us. The future that we dream of cannot be achieved without the essential element of trust. We shall not resign ourselves to a fatalistic opinion of keeping the status quo. It cannot be business as usual. When better can be done, and when real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity. We can work honestly and honestly with each other if we trust each other. When real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity.
I believe that we got the strongest part of this unity, which is 4. So if we got the strongest part, we supposed to able enough to say, well, you got the O, but me got the 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends of the People's Action Movement.
Don't say Pam, just say unity. Hell no!
East Bastia, are you ready for me? I will see to it that East Bastia must be counted. We will put on our hats and we will put on our walking shoes and touch every single household, every alleyway, hear from our people and let them know what we are about. Let them know what Natasha Gray Brooks is all about, putting people first.
Isaac Pam, Sean is my leader, and me ain't changing. So I reaffirm my commitment to this great party, the People's Action Movement. I reaffirm my commitment to Team Unity, and I pledge to continue to keep the promises that I made. I don't care who they send in Central Bastia, Central Lock.
attention to reflect, to think. Somebody said to talk the truth. Talk the truth. Talk the truth.
And I said to you, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family of Ham, choose hope over despair. Choose unity over division. Choose inclusion over exclusion. Choose servant leadership over dictatorship. Choose integrity over dishonesty. Choose the People's Action Movement in this constituency.
Talk the truth.
I have seen this young man from humble beginnings in Sandy Point at work, both in opposition and in government. And I say today with no fear of contradiction that Sean has kept the promise.
We have a leader in the Honorable Sean Richards. He held the fort, strong and fearless, when he stood alone in opposition in Parliament.
My one inspiration going forward is to ensure that the gains we have achieved over the last 7 years are consolidated, preserved,
when he stood
and
alone in
upon.
opposition in Parliament.
We stand here today on a proud record in inspiration going forward. We have achieved many things we have achieved over the last. We shall move forward and on our feet and not on our knees. We shall be fearless and we shall be feared. We have achieved many things. We shall move forward and on our feet and not on our knees. We shall be fearless and we shall be feared. We have achieved.
We happen to be in government in a coalition. Ham, however, is the oldest party in this coalition, the strongest party in this coalition, and of course contributes to all of the major decisions of the government that benefit the people in our country.
And when you hear about an increase in salary for civil servants, you know that we were all in cabinet when the cabinet of your government made that decision. While we are here in Constituency 4 tonight, you would have elected, as you just heard, a champion of a man in Lindsay Fitzpatrick. You know that the Virtuals High School has benefited from $30 million from the CDB in terms of building out and upgrading the TVET centers. And when I say TVET, I mean the Home Economic Center. And something good is happening in constituency number 4.
Members, friends, supporters, I want to tell you tonight the kind of things I did. So I started a breakfast program. The program has been so good that they reached out to me from the Virtuals High School members and said they wanted me to do it at the Virtuals High School. The young people, through me, have started a HARP program, HARP, a homework and reading program. When the number got to 60, Mandy told me, Mandy said, Master, tell me, it's like that we can't gonna move. 60. They only have 16 volunteers to deal with 60 people, so we have to cut it. You understand representation in this constituency? Grant again. When the number got to 60, Mandy told me, Mandy said, Master, tell me, it's like that we can't gonna move. 60.
And today we are happy because the best representation that you have ever received in this constituency has been from none other than Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant. The People's Action Movement has been a champion of unity throughout the history of this country. We have been at the vanguard of every major push, every major development in this country. The time has come for me to say again to all of those who have strayed from the People's Action Movement to come back home. St. Kitts and Nevis, doesn't belong to any one individual. It belongs to all of us. The future that we dream of cannot be achieved without the essential element of trust. We shall not resign ourselves to a fatalistic opinion of keeping the status quo. It cannot be business as usual. When better can be done, cannot be achieved. When better can be done, and when real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity. We can work honestly and honestly with each other if we trust each other. When real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity.
I believe that we got the strongest part of this unity, which is 4. So if we got the strongest part, we supposed to be able enough to say, well, you got the O, but we got the 4. So if we got the strongest part, we supposed to be able enough to say, well, you got the O, but we got the 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends of the People's Action Movement,
don't say fam, just say unity. Hell no.
East Bastia, are you ready for me? I will see to it that East Bastia must be counted. We will put on our hats and we will put on our walking shoes and touch every single household, every alleyway, hear from our people and let them know what we are about. Let them know what Natasha Gray Brooks is all about. Putting people first.
Isaac Pam, Sean is my leader, and me changing. I reaffirm my commitment to this great party, the People's Action Movement. I reaffirm my commitment to Team Unity, and I pledge to continue to keep the promises that I made. Sean is my leader. I don't care who they send in Central Bastia, Central Lock. This great party. I reaffirm my commitment to Team Unity, and I pledge to continue to keep the promises that I made. I don't care who they send in Central Bastia.
A convention to reflect, to think. Somebody said to talk the truth. Talk the truth. Talk the truth.
And I said to you, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family of Pam, choose hope over despair.
To think.
Choose unity
over
division.
Talk the truth.
Choose inclusion over exclusion. Choose servant leadership over dictatorship. Choose integrity over dishonesty. Choose the People's Action Movement in this constituency.
I have seen this young man from humble beginnings in Sandy Point at work, both in opposition and in government. And I say today with no fear of contradiction that Sean has kept the promise.
We have a leader in the Honorable Sean Richards. He held the fort, strong and fearless, when he stood alone in opposition in Parliament.
My one inspiration going forward is to ensure that the gains we have achieved over the last 7 years are consolidated, preserved,
when he stood
and
alone in
upon.
opposition in Parliament.
We stand here today on a proud record in inspiration going forward. We have achieved many things in your name. We shall move forward and on our feet and not on our knees. We shall be fearless and we shall be feared.
We happen to be in government in a coalition. PAM, however, is the oldest party in this coalition, the strongest party in this coalition, and of course contributes to all of the major decisions of the government that benefit the people in our country.
And when you hear about an increase in salary for civil servants, you know that we were all in cabinet when the cabinet of your government made that decision. While we are here in Constituency 4 tonight, you would have elected, as you just heard, a champion of a man in Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant. The Virtuals High School has benefited from $30 million from the CDB in terms of building out and upgrading the TVET centers. And when I said TVET, I mean the home economic centers. And something good is happening in constituency number 4.
Members, friends, supporters, I want to tell you tonight the kind of things I did do. So I started a breakfast program. The program has been so good that they reached out to me from the Virtuals High School and said they wanted me to do it at the Virtuals High School. The young people, through me, have started a HARP program, H-A-R-P, a homework and reading program. When the number got to 60, Mandy told me, Mandy said, Master, tell me, Mr. Grant, we can't go no more. 60. We only have 16 volunteers to deal with 60 people, so we have to cut it. You understand representation in this constituency? Grant again.
And today we are happy because the best representation that you have ever received in this constituency has been from none other than Lindsay Fitzpatrick Grant. The People's Action Movement has been a champion of unity throughout the history of this country. We have been at the vanguard of every major push, every major development in this country. The time has come for me to say again to all of those who have strayed from the People's Action Movement to come back home. St. Kitts and Nevis doesn't belong to any one individual. It belongs to all of us. The future that we dream of cannot be achieved without the essential element of trust. We shall not resign ourselves to a fatalistic opinion of keeping the status quo. It cannot be business as usual. When better can be done, and when real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity. We can work honestly and honestly with each other if we trust each other. When real unity is needed, we must be prepared to preserve that real unity and to earn that real unity.
I believe that we got the strongest part of this unity, which is 4. So if we got the strongest part, we supposed to able enough to say, well, you got the O, but me got the 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends of the People's Action Movement.
Don't say PAM, just say unity. Hell no.
be counted. We will put on our hats and we will put on our walking shoes and touch every single household, every alleyway, hear from our people and let them know what we are about. Let them know what Natasha Gray Brooks is all about. Putting people first.
Isaac Pam, Sean is my leader, and me ain't changing. So I reaffirm my commitment to this great party, the People's Action Movement. I reaffirm my commitment to Team Unity, and I pledge to continue to keep the promises that I made. I don't care who they send in Central Bastia, Central Lock.
A convention to reflect, to think. Somebody said to talk the truth. Talk the truth. Talk the truth.
And I said to you, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family of Pam, choose hope over despair. Choose unity over division. Choose inclusion over exclusion. Choose servant leadership over dictatorship. Choose integrity over dishonesty. Choose the People's Action Movement in this constituency.
I have seen this young man from humble beginnings in Sandy Point at work, both in opposition and in government. And I say today with no fear of contradiction that Sean has kept the promise.
We have a leader in the Honorable Sean Richards. He held the fort, strong and fearless, when he stood alone in opposition in Parliament.
My one inspiration going forward is to ensure that the gains we have achieved over the last 7 years are consolidated, preserved, and built upon. We stand here today on a proud record in government. We have achieved many things in your name. We shall move forward and on our feet and not on our knees. We shall be fearless and we shall be feared.
This evening, myself, Azad Gums, Minister Grant and Chelsea Williams will be going through challenges. This is in celebration of PAM's 57th anniversary constituency there. So we're going to meet and greet the constituents of constituency number 4, and we're going to give them just a brief talk on calendars from the Honorable Minister Lindsay Grant.
and for sure in number 4, especially challengers.
Members, friends, supporters, well-wishers of the People's Action Movement, a pleasant good evening. We are here tonight in Dorset Park. We're here tonight in Jeppe City, Central Bastille. You guys sound too dead tonight. We want to wake up Central Bastille tonight, so we want those of you to come forward for this town hall meeting tonight. But before I begin, I want for us just to stand, please, and we have the national anthem of St. Kitts and Nevis played by the DJ. You may be seated. Tonight I want to first recognize my colleagues at the head table. The chairman of the People's Action Movement, John L. Powell, and member for Central Bastille. Give him a round of applause. And also to recognize the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, member for Constituency number 8. I have the honor and the privilege tonight to chair the proceedings in what is our second town hall meeting in a series of town hall meetings throughout the length and breadth of St. Kitts and Nevis. These meetings are simple. They are designed not only to have a conversation with you, but they are designed to ensure that you, and specifically here tonight in Dorset Park and Central Bastille, for you to bring your concerns to the member, John L. Powell, who represents Central Bastille. I want to say to you that Team Unity began a journey sometime back in 2013. We are now in 2022. And if my math is correct, that is some 9 years of our union. I want tonight, if you don't remember anything else, my theme is simple tonight. And my theme is for you to stay focused. My theme to you tonight at this town hall meeting is for you to stay focused. And why do I say for you to stay focused? I said tonight is for you to stay focused because the People's Action Movement in Unity has been doing a fantastic job, and give Pam a round of applause. I don't care which side of the political divide you are on. You must say that things are better under the People's Action Movement in Unity. We have done so many things over the last couple of years, and we still have a lot more to do. Yes, we are in a pandemic, but despite the pandemic, we have shown you, we in PAM, we are part of a union that can do lots of things. But I say stay focused. Stay focused. Because a young lady called me today, and what did she say to me? She said to me that people are cursing her out. And people are cursing her out because she went to something that PLP had. And the PAM people don't like that. I want to say to you tonight, as far as I know, and unless the leader tells me differently, we are still in unity. Hear me clearly. Unless and until the leader tells me differently, we are still in unity. But PAM has a job to do. PAM has a job to do. And you have elected your leaders in PAM to do a job. And our job is to do the best that we can do in PAM, for PAM, and those we represent in PAM in unity. And when we can't do the best for you, we make a little noise and we grumble. Because at the end of the day, you want your concerns to be heard and you want your concerns to be dealt with. And I gave a story some time ago, but I'll give you a different version of the story. And said to you, when you're in a relationship or when you're in a marriage, the reality is every day ain't gonna be the same. And you can't always get along. But the important thing for you is to make sure you voice your concern and you hug up and you kiss at the end of the day and you get on good. And that is it. So don't mind some of you getting perturbed with what you hear out there. We are fighting in the best interest of the People's Action Movement and the over 9,000 persons who support us in this country. Tonight I want to pay special attention, to 3 young people who will come later and do a poem for us. Because this country belongs to the young people. And we want to see the young people stepping up to the plate. Because this is young people time. And I know Jonelle, in the last election in 2020, I wish I were like you. Because I saw you had a lot of young people rallying behind Jonelle Powell. So give it up for the people of Central Bastille, the young persons in Central Bastille. And so as we go around the length and breadth of the country in Dorset Park this evening, we are going to have the persons whom you put there to represent you, to come to you and give you an indication as to their stewardship. But before I call the first speaker to the podium, I want to give the apologies for the leader, the Honorable Sean K. Richards, who will come a little later, but who is engaged at the moment. He's on his way, I understand, from Sandy Point at another engagement he had. So the leader is going to be late. But I want to tell you that in PAM, anybody here could hold their own. And so we can start before the leader. Because each and every one up here on the table, on the platform here, can hold their own. I want tonight to be rowdier and more energy than constituency number 4. So I want to hear the noise tonight so that down in McKnight and beyond, they could hear that something is happening at Dorset Park. And not only something is happening at Dorset Park, but your representative for Central Bastille is here in Dorset Park to talk to you, the Honorable Jonelle Powell. But I want to call, however, the young Pamites. 2 young ladies and 1 young man to say a poem for us tonight. So young people, please come forward.
A true PAM man. A man with pride, youth, and dignity, with representation of a warrior, brave and confident is he. Who can't hear, can see. Say it with me. Good friends better than pocket money. We believe in a loyalty. Bold and intelligently motivated, a people's person with genuine love. Whenever he greets you, you know it's with a hug. Remarkably talented, oh so sweet. Can you imagine a man with these qualities moving through the streets of Bastille?
He's firm and committed to our youths. He's dependable, devoted, and unique, born on the same day as PAM anniversary.
Which other candidate can say they are more PAM than he? JP2 is here and here to stay. Let him help you have a fantastic day.
A true PAM man.
So we make through them day. Good friend better than pocket money. We believe in a loyalty. I tell you this one on me back. Get them on me back. I tell you me clan on me back. Get them on me back. I tell you me brethren on me back. Get them on me back. I know let me friend them on me back. Get them on me back.
Put your hands together for the youngsters again, please. Wonderful poem, wonderful poem. And you know, in anything, you have to put God first and give God thanks. So I want to call Gloria up front to give a few words of prayer to bless this evening's proceedings. Gloria.
I bless. Good evening, one and all. Let us all reverence God in prayer, please. Most holy, righteous, and eternal, loving Heavenly Savior, Father, we come another night at a different ground. Father God, we lift up tonight the second procedures in these town hall meetings. Father, we lift up every speaker before you tonight. We lift up the leader who is on his way tonight. Father, as we lift them up tonight, mighty God, we bring those who are on their way before you. Those who are walking, may you hasten their footstep. Those who are driving, may you give them traveling mercies. Mighty God, we ask you to protect this ground tonight. Father, we ask you to remove every distracting spirit, every interference spirit. Mighty God, we ask in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, to let everything done in order and indecently, mighty God. May your Holy Spirit hover over this place, mighty God. May you intervene in everything that is said and done tonight. Let everything be done in righteousness. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Gloria, for those words of prayer. I'm going to bring on the first person to give remarks this evening. But before I bring on the individual to give those remarks, I want to say to you that when I started just back from university somewhere in 1991, I met this gentleman at the table of PAM. As I'm advised, this gentleman was at the table of PAM since about 1970. And he likes to give a lot of history and history lessons. But one thing you can say about him, he's been solid for the people of Keyon and the people of Constituency number 8, year after year, in good times and in bad times. The Honorable Eugene Hamilton. And sometimes I'd be afraid to bring him on to talk, because, you know, he kind of long. But this time, tonight is not our night. This night, tonight, is your night and JP2 John L. Powell's night. So I'm giving the Honorable Eugene Hamilton a warning. Don't give us too long a history lesson tonight, but I want you to bat well. So I want to bring to the microphone the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, Constituency number 8, to speak to us at this town hall meeting.
Thank you, my good colleague and constituency representative from constituency number 4. Thank you for that introduction and that caution. No history tonight, don't worry. Only recent history. Those persons in the house who are PAM, let me hear you shout, yeah, yeah? Yeah! All right. So friends, members, those of you who are from St. Kitts and Nevis, whether PAM or not, if you're listening tonight, a very good night to all of you. A very good night to all of you. Thank you. This is my second town hall meeting this week. And I am pleased to join my colleagues here in Central Bastia, my colleague Jonel Powell, as he brings a message of hope and opportunity, not only to those who voted for him, but to those who wake up every day in this country and even not in this country. Those who wake up every day giving thanks to God for all of his goodness. Those who wake up every day and set about to make a meaningful contribution to our nation and to the world. As I join my colleagues, I must remind you that we in the People's Action Movement are just about 2 months away from the second anniversary of our second term. 2 months away from the second anniversary of our second term in government, in the Team Unity government. During the first 5-year term, my colleague, the Honorable Jonel Powell, however, was not with us, unfortunately. But for this second term, this second 5-year term, he's here, and I want to believe that he's looking forward to contributing to this second term and to serve from the second anniversary going forward. And I will whet his appetite. I will whet his appetite with some of the notable achievements we worked on and made before his time, so that he would lose no time at all, no moment at all in this term in working to make sure that we can do better than we did in our first term. I want to remind him and the people here in Central Bastia and the people of this country, wherever you are, that during our first term, we set about to make sure that the sugar workers benefited from our stewardship, got that $16 million that they were robbed of under the previous administration. That happened in our first term. In our first term, we removed VAT from food and medicine and funeral expenses. That again was something done for people who live in our federation. In our first term, we introduced what we call PAP. And what is PAP? Poverty Alleviation Program was introduced. And you need to recall it and remember it, because in that PAP program, householders whose income are below $3,000 or less, you qualify in that household for $500, call it top-up. Of course, again in that first term, as the minister responsible for housing, I introduced something called HELP. It was a program which every person, we targeted persons who had no bathrooms and toilets and leaky roofs. And we gave them a contribution. I said a contribution. I said a gift of $10,000 worth of materials and labor to put them back in good habitation. That happened in our first term. And then after the 2017 hurricanes, 2 hurricanes, our government introduced a roofing program. Don't forget how many persons in this country have benefited from the program of roofing repair in 2017, 2018, 2019. Over 3,000 householders got that benefit. Again, in that 5-year period, we saw for the first time street lighting in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, in that first term, we saw the entire main road throughout the island resurfacing began. Those were achievements in our first term. In that first term, We saw a cruise pier being erected. Those are achievements in our first term. In that first term, we saw the bus terminals down east and west repaired and refurbished. I just said I was going to give you a snippet to show you how successful we were in that first term. And we have an opportunity to do the same and more in this second term. COVID has taken away 2 years of that, but that's fine, COVID. It looked like we're out of the shadows now. So the ball starts to roll and the players start to play. And the People's Action Movement in unity will deliver for you the things that benefit the quality of your life. Yes. Every one of these things. Let us welcome the Honorable Sean Kenneth Richards. Every one of these things that I outlined a while ago is designed for the benefit of people. Not designed for my benefit, Sean's benefit, Lindsay's benefit, Jonah's benefit as leaders, but for the benefit of people across this nation. We have been and we will continue to be a people-centered, future-driven government looking at what the future holds for young people in this federation. One of the things that is sure to happen to be future-driven is to make sure that our young people understand the technological changes taking place in the world so that they can take advantage of those changes. That is why in our community centers, you see free internet provided by the government. You can't say you don't have internet. So we are a government, I will declare, a government that puts people first, a government that is people-centered, future-driven, a government that does the greatest good for the greatest number of people. If you understand what that means, I call it the utilitarian principle of governance. Governing so that the greatest good is done for the greatest number of people. So, Jonel, tonight is your night. And as we bring the message of hope and opportunity during this second 5-year term, I look forward to us pursuing that people-centered, future-driven approach to governance. I look forward, Jonel, with you and to participate with all my colleagues to ensure that our people of this nation, and as people of this nation, we remain with a team that can deliver for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I believe we should begin to think about, should we, as a government, continue to remain under the Queen? Should we be a government that goes to be a republic like Barbados? Those are big things we need to think about. I look forward, Jonel, to designing a jobs plan with you, with our team, a jobs plan aimed at providing over 500 jobs per year going into the millennium 2030. Why? The data, I happen to know that the data shows that for us to keep pace with employment, we need to create 500 jobs a year between now and 2030. And at this point, we're only moving by about 230 jobs a year. So we have to step up. And this government is prepared to step up and provide employment, especially employment for young, skillful people. I look forward to fulfilling the physiological needs of our people, providing food, opportunity to feed yourself, not getting a handout, but getting a hand up. I want us to be that government that if you think of climbing from the bottom to the top, there are two ways to get to the top. I can put you down a rope, and I can decide to pull you up. But if I don't want you up, I might drop you. But I can put you down a ladder, and you can climb. And when you climb, you get that great satisfaction from climbing to the top. Well, I want to put you down that ladder and help you to climb to the top. I look forward to the opportunity to introduce universal health coverage in this country so that when people get sick, they know how the medical bill is going to be paid. You all know somebody near you who used to get sick with cancer or something else, and poor them if they ain't got no money. I look forward to that day. So I say to you, my brother Jonel, as you come to present your plan, your energy, put your thoughts together for the people, I say to you and the people, choose hope over despair. Choose unity over this division. Choose inclusion over exclusion. Choose integrity over dishonesty. Choose servant leadership over dictatorship. Good night. God bless you.
Yes. Where my people action movement massive day. Show me a lot.
Give another round of applause for me, please, for the member for number 8. And we're moving along nicely. We're moving along nicely. And you know, since convention, we're under the theme, keeping the promise. In fact, I will tell my leader this phrase is late in coming. Because since 2015, we've been keeping our promise. Since 2015, we've been keeping our promise. Because when we got in 2015, we told you that part of our promise was to make sure that we better the lives of every single man, woman, and child in this country, and we kept that promise. We kept the promise because we told you for every household that earned less than $3,000 a month, we were going to give you $500 a month to make sure that your household was properly kept. We kept that promise. We kept the promise when we told you we were going to remove VAT from medical supplies, from food, and from educational supplies, etc., and from funeral expenses, and we kept that promise. Every step of the way, the People's Action Movement has been keeping our promise. And we continue to keep our promise. And so these meetings are to let you know that we continue to keep our promise. And I want to say to you tonight, as we go through these town hall meetings, as we've been saying, this is your turn. If you feel that we have not kept a particular promise, come forward and say it respectfully, so we can adjust our thinking and adjust the way we are approaching things. But in keeping our promise, I want to tell you, when you're on a team, or you're captain of a team, you're captaining 11 men, correct? Or women on your team. And the captain alone can't take everything for himself. But the captain must help the batsman them. The captain must help the bowler. And the captain must help the wicket keeper. Because we kept that promise to the people of the country. That's the People's Action Movement. We said we were going to be a government that's fair. We were going to be a government that spread the wealth around and that hold the wealth in one corner. We said we are a government of fair share. That's the motto we went on. And so when it ain't fair, we have to talk about it. With respect, when it is not fair, we have to talk about it. We're not here to mash up anything. We're here to tell you what our grievance is. Because when the lady down in Sandy Point can't get on the pub, but somebody in Molyneux getting on the pub, that ain't fair. When the man down Fish Bay in Old Road can get a house and them in mansion getting them free, we got to talk about that. My grandmother always said to me, it's no sense holding it up in a bowling cup until it mash up. You might as well talk and fix it back while we have time. Because as we stand and sit on this up front here tonight, as we stand and sit up here tonight, we are saying to you, and I don't hold any water in my mouth, unity is the best thing the country can have. But it must be fair. It must be fair. Because if it ain't fair, nothing good about that. But I couldn't spell so good enough. But you're right. It's not F-E-A-R, but F-A-I-R. You're absolutely correct. And some people, because of the amount of things Jonelle Powell as a representative for Central Bastille has been doing, despite COVID for 2 years, some people think he's there since 2015. Jonelle Powell has only been there since 2020. 2 years of COVID. You have to give him a round of applause for the work he has done despite COVID for the last 2 years. And you know what PAM is about? PAM is about putting people first. We continue to do that. We have done that since 1965 when the party was formed, and we continue to do it in 2022. And I want to say to you that when 2025 comes, or whenever that date comes, Jonelle Powell is going to whip them more than the votes he got in 2020 with your help. We have to stay focused. We have to stay focused. Because some of you and some of us only like to work when last minute come. So I'm going to say it again. Some of you and some of us only like to work when last minute come. I want to tell you that we have to work from now. So when Jonelle Powell calls you to rally, to campaign, house to house, to see the needs of the people, rally with him. Rally with him. When Eugene Hamilton calls on you to campaign, right now, rally with him. When Sean Richards calls you to rally with him right now, because we have to make sure the people are satisfied. And I want to tell you, this electorate is not an easy electorate. It's a hard electorate. But what I want to say to people, and I've always said to them, I have 16 houses to give out down somewhere in Conyers. But I'm taking a lot of blows for it. Because it's only 16, but 116 want the houses. So, of course, by simple maths, some ain't gonna get. But the thing about it is, we all are going to get something. Who ain't get house, unpap. Who ain't get house, got job. And who ain't get house will get house to come. We just have to be a little bit patient. And I want to say to you, we were in the wilderness for about 20 years. I was there in the worst of times. I ain't going back there now. I ain't going back there. So it means that we have to rally behind the leaders and the base. We have to rally. So I want to thank you for coming out tonight in your numbers. Give yourselves a round of applause. And it's no secret, Central Bastille is a serious constituency. Central Bastille has been the constituency that the first Prime Minister held for a long time. Central Bastille. And if my history is correct, no government in this country has been formed without Central Bastille. And so it means that next election, Central Bastille must come home to the People's Action Movement to form the government. And so I want to bring to the microphone a young man. He's not so young now. Used to be young. They want to claim they're young now, but it ain't so you go. But I remember some years ago, I made a call to a young man who was then in Anguilla. Can't remember what year that was, maybe 2009, 2008. And I said to him, you're making a lot of waves down in Anguilla, but St. Kitts and Central Bastille need you, and you need to come home. He didn't know what he was coming home to. He left his nice cushy thing down in Anguilla, packed his bags, and came to St. Kitts to fight for the People's Action Movement. And so Central Bastille, you must understand that you have a fighter in Jonel Powell. Jonel Powell will fight for you in Central Bastille with his last ounce of blood. And so don't think he's not fighting for you. He is fighting for you. Just like each and every one of us up here fighting for our various constituencies. And that is why when you don't get what you want in Central Bastille, and I don't get what I want in number 4, we have to agitate to get what we want, because at the end of the day, we can't be here unless the people put us here. And so I want to bring to the microphone. Why are you the youngest in the group now, still? Hey, we need a younger person than Jonel to come to take over some other constituency. But I want to bring to the microphone Jonel Franchette Powell to tell you about his stewardship and about keeping the promise. Help me welcome Jonel Powell to the microphone.
So we make through them good friend better than pocket money. We believe in a loyalty.
Members and friends of the People's Action Movement, good evening. Central Bastille, make some noise for me, please. A pleasant good night to each and every one of you, and to those listening via the radio or following us on via the internet, YouTube, Facebook. Good night. Don't worry, man, they come in. I am proud to be here as a member of the PAM team tonight to present to you. Proud member of PAM, because this is a team. We believe in teamwork. And that is why we had no problem in becoming a part of a team unity administration. It's about teamwork. And as they say, teamwork makes the dream work. And I know that team unity and unity is really the best thing for this country and for the people of this country. And I also know, because I pass English, that team ain't got no O in it. And so as a part of this team, it is my job to fight for the people of Central Bastille. I know that, and you know that. And that is why, just short of 2 years ago, you elected me as your parliamentary representative. And I say thank you to the people of Central Bastille. I remember telling you I pass English, you know. And so just like team, I know that Central ain't got no O in it. But why are we here tonight? We're here for a number of different reasons, you know. But the main reason is because we believe in keeping the promise. As a party, we believe in keeping the promise to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And as your parliamentary representative, I believe in keeping the promise to you. And so we come here tonight to talk the thing. We come to talk about ensuring that the promises that we made to you are kept. And in order to do so, there must be, I think I heard it a while ago, fairness. Not F-E-A-R, F-A-I-R, pass English. There must be equity and equality. The things got to free up for everybody. One person can't take everything. And so, when they have jobs on step, Central Bastille people got to get too. Things hard under COVID. You had the $500. Central Bastille people must get too. And you know, people like to say, oh, Jonel say he hands tie. Lindsay say he hands tie. Sean say he hands tie. Nobody hands tied, you know. My hands free. Free and ready to fight. To fight for the people of Central Bastille and to fight for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so my hands ain't tied. We are here to use these untied hands to free up the thing for you, the people in Central Bastille and in St. Kitts and Nevis. But let me put it into perspective for you. Imagine we in a little community and everybody has their role to play. I'm responsible for the school and for teaching. Somebody is responsible for maintaining the roads and making sure the place is clean. Somebody responsible for going in and planting and getting vegetables and all of that to feed everybody, because we're taking care of everybody. Somebody responsible to go and do the fishing and bring back some fish and some nice things out to the sea. And you know the man who's responsible for the fishing, you know he got some nice big juicy lobsters over there. And every day you go and you say, man, my people over here want some lobster. And every day when you ask for the lobster for your people, he said, oh no, they're too small. They ain't ready. I have to throw them back. Soon, soon. But you also know that when he's telling you so, he found me eating big lobster every night. That could be right? Tell me, Central Basti, that could be right? And then to make matters worse, when you who are responsible for the farming and thing, to feed everybody, gone in the land, to plant the ground, he gone home by you, by your wife, go off your wife lobster, say, your husband can't give you lobster, he come to off your lobster. Well, that could be right? A man come off your wife lobster, you ain't going for him. And so, people, this is the point I'm making. We are no longer sitting down. We've talked, and we're here to talk to you, to let you know what is going on, to let you know that we're going for the lobster so that everybody could eat lobster. And we're here because the people of Central Bastia said they want to see their representative more. And so I'm listening to you, and I'm here to present to you tonight. I may come alone and bring the team because we want to hear from you. I like to hear that they want to see their representative more because it means that I'm doing something good. It means they want to see me. They want to be with us. And I'm here for you, the people of Central Bastia. I have to ask people all the time, you know. You remember when I got elected? Yeah, 2015. It got to be doing such a good job that people think I'm in there for 7 years. I've only been in there for a year and change. 2 years ain't come yet. A year and change. On the COVID. But I'm going to use COVID as an excuse because I'm proud of the work that and the job I've been doing for the people of Central Bastia. But if you want to go back to 2015, before I was elected, I was serving the people of Central Bastia then. When you look at the gardens housing and the facelift that they got and all the renovations they got, I asked Eugene Hamilton how much times I call in, how much times I come up there bawling saying the people down the gardens need better. And so the people got better because of John L. Powell working for them. And not just paint, windows, tiling. People from Arishon know how down there used to smell with the sewage problems they had down there. Brand new state-of-the-art sewage treatment system down there. People in Central Bastia, between 2015 and 2020, when I was elected, benefited from baths and toilet facilities. You'd be surprised how many people ain't on a toilet in the house to this day. And so I fought to ensure that people like Fazal and others and were able to get bathrooms in their houses. Look at the ferry terminal. I fought to ensure that not just we improve the ferry terminal, but we get a brand new ferry terminal down in Central Bastia, improving the infrastructure and the look of Central Bastia. And next to the terminal is what? A brand new bus terminal. All of this is improving and uplifting the people in Central Bastia, improving the infrastructure in Central Bastia. Refurbishment of the Bastia Health Center, the main health center in town, that's where everybody had to go. And we know the conditions it has been in. And we are going to work to ensure that that health center continues to be refurbished and to be upgraded. Irishtown Primary School, I successfully was able to get a number of pieces of equipment, furniture, for the Irishtown Primary School before I was elected. When the children were sitting down to eat their lunch on the side of the drain, before that, they now have picnic tables and benches down there to sit and eat their lunch and their breakfast, courtesy of John L. Powell. How many people from Dorset Market Street, young men, get locked up for a little piece of weed, a little spliff? Criminal record, can't get job, can't do this. As a part of this team unity administration, we successfully lobbied and passed legislation to free up the thing a little bit. And we've put things in place to ensure that it ain't just about freeing it up so a man could smoke a joint on the corner. We are putting things in place to ensure that you can go and create a business to benefit from an industry, a marijuana industry in this country, to make money. Because what I said, the herb is the healing of the nation. Look at the safety and security that this Team Unity administration has brought to this country. Central Bastille knows better than anybody how crime goes and about murder and about shooting. Look at how those numbers have dropped since this Team Unity administration has come into government. And I was proud to not be elected, but to still be a part of that team to ensure that we benefited from that in Central Bastille. Pine Gardens housing. Remember how long they had the houses sitting down up there? Well, look, people like Kim up there living good now. Yes, I call your name. You're living good up there. Thanks to this Team Unity administration and John L. Powell fighting to ensure that those houses were made available for people from Central Bastille. I said thank you to my colleague, Eugene Hamilton, for building additional houses. And I want you to know that not only am I grateful, but I want more for the people of Central Bastille. We want houses in Central Bastille. Because I don't understand. I know of several single parents, single mothers, 3, 4 children living in squalor in Central Bastille who could have benefited from one of them 15 free houses, but all went over in mansion. Employment. Scores of young men and women got jobs, whether it was on step or otherwise, during that first term of Team Unity. I wasn't in government, but I was lobbying and ensuring that many of them got those jobs. Roofs. Central Bastille had one of the highest rates of roof repairs under the roofing program, and I was not yet elected. The PAP, second highest number, I think it is, number of persons on PAP came from Central Bastille through people like John L. Powell fighting for you amongst the team on PAP. Those living in Shadwell and Pine Gardens who used to have to walk up the road in the dark, no street lights. They have street lights now, and that was done by John L. Powell before I was even elected. How many young people were able to get pieces of land? We run out of land in Central, but they got land in other places through John L. Powell lobbying for you, young people in Central Bastille, to get land, and that was before I was elected. Restoration of the steps on Irish Town. We went down in the community, and with the help of the young men in Irish Town, we were able to fix up those steps and paint them over and uplift the place, make the place look a little better. Another need a touch-up, and we can fix it. But that is all part of uplifting the spirit and involving people from the community in building Central Bastille, and all things that I did before I was elected. And it's because of all of those things that you elected me, and I'm so grateful to you. And it's because of what I am doing and will continue to do that I have no doubt about it, that you will continue to have my back and to elect me again to ensure that I have your back in Parliament.
Better days are coming, change your ways.
And then it was 2020, when Jepito mashed up the thing with the help of you. And in less than 2 short years, look at what has happened in Central Bastille, despite COVID. I'm using COVID as an excuse. First thing I do, went down the gardens, and a brand new facelift for the pavilion on at the Gardens play field. Brand new roof, brand new lighting, paint up, fix up. Because we in Central Bastille must not just be as good as everybody else, but we gotta be better than everybody else. Dorset Park up here. We've done work on Dorset Park, and while on Dorset Park, I have to acknowledge somebody. You can't say Dorset Park and don't say Cooley. You cannot talk about Dorset Park and not talk about Cooley. who has faithfully and dedicated herself to maintaining this park for years without pay. Cooley got tired, tell Cooley, when you need something for Dorset, let me know. Let me know. But Cooley want to go in she pocket and do everything because she ain't waiting. Something needs to be done and Cooley goes and she does it. It is that kind of dedication to community and to country that I believe we should all emulate and strive for. Cooley, you are a hero for the people, the young people of this country. If I could be like Cooley, I know the people of Central Bastia will elect me over and over and over again. And Cooley does it with the help of Thibault and Louisa, you know. I can't forget them because they all, he cuss me, and he cuss people, but Rasta man, you're doing a good job. Basketball City, brand new makeover. Irish Town Primary, we're doing works down there right now. A young man from Central Bastia has just gotten an opportunity to do some upgrades down there. And come June, we're doing major renovations to the Irish Town Primary School. We know they have some issues that we inherited, and we're going to fix those issues come June. And look at how we've managed COVID as a team, as a government. I was a part of that team. I have a say, and I lent my say to ensure that as a team we made sure St. Kitts and Nevis fared COVID-19 better than anybody else in the Caribbean. As much as we might have felt a bit frustrated by the task force, they did a fantastic job, and I want to thank all of those who served on the task force. I want to thank all of those who, whether you worked in schools or you worked in the healthcare system, came out during the lockdown to ensure that other people were being taken care of. The teachers who are doing school online classes during COVID, thank you for your service. And while we're on that, you know, and the Minister of Education, and although they ain't say I'm the best Minister of Education in Caribbean, like Lindsay get best tourism minister. And give her a round of applause for that. What I can say, St. Kitts and Nevis did the best in terms of education in the Caribbean. No country had schools open as much as St. Kitts and Nevis. The full academic terms we were able to go through without shutting down. Because JP took your back, you know. And got it back of all the people in St. Kitts and Nevis, all the students. So think about it. If we did not do as well as we did, some of you would not be able to go to work because you had to stay home with your children. Your children will be further behind in school because they ain't going to school. But we continue to do what is in the best interest as a team for this country, and so they're benefiting. You are benefiting and your children are benefiting. And so I say a big thank you to the team within the Ministry of Education for the hard work that they continue to do for the children of this country, for our future. Put your hands together for the team within the Ministry of Education. I started a number of youth forums, engaging our young people, engage them, hearing from them to see what they want, how they want to see this country go forward, what they want from the leaders. The next one is coming up shortly where we're going to have a youth entrepreneurship forum for all the young people who have developed little businesses and little talents. We can have people from the Development Bank come tell you how to get a loan. Somebody from the small business unit come and tell you how to do a business proposal and how to operate the business properly. Somebody from the grants division to come and tell you about the opportunities to get money to inject into your business or start your small business. We have some talented young people. People like Sharik Gavaya down in McKnight who are making soap and different things. We want to promote people like that. You know, somebody once said cricket can't eat, you know, but a hell of a lot of people eat off a CPL last year. We accustomed to get 5, 6, maybe 7 games of CPL. Last year, John L. Powell brought 33 CPL games to St. Kitts. The whole tournament. Employing people from across this country, whether you're a caterer, a bus driver, a groundsman, whatever it was. Hiring people, putting money in people's pocket and bread on the table at a time when nothing was happening. Sorry, best tourism minister, but I bring in more tourists than you that time. People from Central Bastia benefited. The majority of groundsmen up there were from Central Bastia. Some of them took home $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, in one instance, $8,000 as a result of CPL. That is what you call performance, and that is what you call creating opportunities for young people. $9 million in direct spend pumped into this economy, directly spent in St. Kitts and Nevis, benefiting all of us. And when CPL was on the 19 World Cup and the same thing happened again. Carnival. Lord, we want to go on the road, but we couldn't go on the road. But we had the most participants in Carnival. By going virtual, all of a sudden people who don't go Queenshaw, go on Queenshaw and looking at it. All of a sudden people who don't go Juve get up 3 o'clock in the morning, whether they're in New York, London, to look at our Juve. And so we are not just having these things during COVID and trying to do something, but we are doing it differently. We're improving on it. And so last Sugar Mass, we could talk about the most number of people tuned in to a Miss St. Kitts show. And a Miss St. Kitts show making the most money in the history of Miss St. Kitts, and that happened under COVID. These are the kind of things that our young people are benefiting from. When you look at the young production team, young people doing lighting, young people doing staging, all young people, because I believe in creating opportunities for young people in this country. And so to the Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley and her team, job well done, but this year we're going back on the road. Jobs. It was COVID, and we know a number of people have been laid off in this country, thousands of people, because of COVID. And so we know the jobs not available like how they used to be, but have still been able to here and there create those opportunities for young people, particularly from Central Bastia, because you know Central Bastia people weren't getting through before, but they're getting through now. And we've had some women breaking ceilings in this country. First ever director of Carnival, Hazel Webster, female from Central Bastia. New PS in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Valencia Sider, young woman from Central Bastia. And I could go on and on. And I can't call the name yet, but look out just now for announcement, another young woman from Central Bastia getting a big job. And I'm going to talk about this one, you know. Who all see me on the camel? Who all saw me on the camel in Dubai? They show a picture of me on a camel in Dubai, but they ain't show the 20 young people that I took to Dubai to experience the camel rides. Sean, just ask my phone for me, please. Because I believe in giving our young people new opportunities and new experiences. I'm part of the team. 4 young people from Virtual Heights High School went, courtesy of the Honorable Lindsay Grant, the representative. And those children were able to see a different part of the world, a different culture, different food, and make them eat some camel meat and all, camel hamburgers. And to experience something new. Because I believe in our young people branching out and being able to do things not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, but outside of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I want to just read a WhatsApp message that I got from one of those young people when we came back. Very quickly. Thank you once again. Good afternoon, Mr. Minister. Thank you once again for the opportunity to visit and see Dubai and enjoy all those wonderful activities. I assure you, as a youth, your intentions to expose your young people to the wider world and its advancements did not go in vain, as I definitely came back with a new sense of self and a different perspective on the world. But most importantly, the future of our federation. This is from one of those young people. I can give you a joke and all. There was one young man who had never traveled before. First time he going on a plane. When we walking through the airport, he see two girls with some McDonald's. He said, hey, wait. I thought something happened. He stopped the whole group. He said, where you get that from? The point they're showing the McDonald's. He said, Lord, minister, wait. I waited my whole life to eat McDonald's. We have to wait in the airport for him to go and eat the McDonald's. Those are just some of the things that I have done in less than 2 years representing the people of Central Bastille. Less than 2 years. But what is to come? I ain't going nowhere now. Me and who they send, me and who come, me ain't going nowhere. I'm sticking with Central Bastille because I got your back. We're doing some more works down the Gardens field. We're fixing up the tennis courts down there. We're done perforate. The people coming in from Antigua and we're getting some new lighting for down there. And I'm meeting with the Garden Hotspurs Football Club next week because we are going to be renaming that facility. The Garden Hotspurs Sporting Facility, because that club means so much to the Nutlight and Armstrong community. I told you better believe better days coming on the JP too. Better days are coming. We're gonna be doing. I told you in June we start major renovations at the Irish Home Primary School. We're gonna be fixing up. As the Minister of Education, I'm going to be working to ensure that the Joshua Obadiah Williams School is built back quickly for the people of the of Molyneux area. And Bastille High School is finally ready to start. The Bastille High School is finally ready to start. So Central Bastille, all them contractors, all them plumbers, all them electricians, get ready to put in your bids because the Bastille High School is going to start now. The family park, and I'm going to touch this family park, because there are some people out there who talk some nonsense. Me ain't want to touch family park because it's Marcella do it. What Marcella do? Marcella rush a park up there because elections were coming and she know JP2 was coming for. And that facility was not constructed properly. You had land slippage. It was being undermined. And that is why that park had been shut down for so long. All the equipment weathered from the sun, breaking up. You couldn't allow your children to go on. It was dangerous. But JP2 fought and lobbied, and now we have been granted $350,000 from the government of Taiwan to not just to fix up there, to fix it and to make it bigger and better. And so I want to thank our brothers and sisters from the Republic of China and Taiwan. And to Minister Hamilton, it falls under your portfolio. Make sure they hurry up and fix the park for the people in New Road. We are preparing, I have a program that is underway. We have consultants working on it and we're about to start consultations to roll out a preparation for work program where we're going to be training young people in soft skills to put them in a better position when jobs come available. We're going to be doing from conflict resolution to how to dress properly, how to talk properly, how to answer the phone, how to deal with your co-workers. We're putting together this program to prepare young people in particular, but anybody is welcome because we want to elevate the standard at which our young people are able to operate when they get those opportunities that only a PAM and Team Unity administration can deliver. CPL coming again, CPL is coming again. I can't say too much, but if I thought last year was big, this year can be bigger. This year will be bigger. Are we not just having CPL, West Indies cricket coming St. Kitts too, But I ain't going to talk that one yet. I can wait for them to announce those dates. We also have We're also working closely with the Volleyball Association, the Tennis Association, who are all looking to have tournaments in St. Kitts this year because everybody is seeing St. Kitts and Nevis for the sport tourism destination that it is. People just love to come to St. Kitts and Nevis. And when these tournaments come, it means more jobs and more opportunities for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular the people of Central Bastia, because they say pass and Christine picnic first. Lord, I'm tired of Sandra Roberts calling my phone and messaging my phone. Sandra, Sean is here. He's assured me, I was there when he made the call, we're going to be fixing the roads in New Road just now. Praise the Lord. Because this is a team, and teamwork makes a dream work. And not just up in New Road, you know. We're going to be fixing the roads around here in Shadwell site because I know there are some big potholes. We come in. See Sean there? Sean. Site Hardy. He said I was included in it. The public market. Works have been done there. We're going to do some more works. We have some persons who have come out of the goodness of the heart and are putting up a lot of money to fix up the market and paint it over, and have already engaged the Minister of Agriculture because the public market in Central, you know, Central people got to eat. So Central people want some work to go and paint the market. The futsal facility in Pine Gardens, we are about to next week hopefully start clearing the land. I've already met with the Football Association. We got buy-in from FIFA itself, who love the project. And Pine Gardens, you're getting your futsal facility just now. We're clearing the land next week to start getting ready for construction. After-school programs. I have a number of teachers who have reached out and said, look, we want to help. We want to come on board. I promised, one of the promises I made was an after-school program for the people of Central Bastia. We're going to deliver that with the help of these teachers. And in particular, we have a program for our Spanish-speaking students to help them in terms of integrating into the English system that we have here. The last thing I can touch on, I have a meeting scheduled to view the initial sketch for the Irish Town Boardwalk. I'm going to, next week, go to view the initial sketches for the Irish Town Boardwalk. And it ain't just going to be a boardwalk, you know. Because when I stopped and thought about it, I said, boardwalk easy, Barbados have boardwalk. Central want bigger and better than a boardwalk. And so the intention is to expand on it, do a little reclamation, and to create a commercial center down in front of Irish Town for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. It's going to be something similar to Port Zanta, you know, but the difference is, no offense to them, but no foreigners coming to buy up down there, you know. It must be locally owned, 100% locally owned. That project will not only improve the infrastructure, the flow of traffic, but we hope will be the start to the upliftment and upgrading of the Irish Town area. And that goes in tandem with the biggest plan and the one dearest to my heart, which is addressing the abandoned buildings, derelict buildings, the old lots, acquiring them, cleaning them, getting young people from in the area, giving them the jobs to go and clean them, to clear them out, and to make those properties available for you, the people of Central Bastia, whether it be for housing or for commercial properties. People, I am sure about my performance. I know I got your back, and I've outlined just some of the ways that I've had your back, not just for the 2 years I've been elected, but even before that. But I want to say something, you know, is teamwork. And although we here as PAM, I want to say to you all, PLP is not the enemy. Hear me again. PLP and supporters of PLP are not the enemy. So because you see, and Lindsay touched on it, we told you that we are PAM in unity. And until Sean said we gone, we ain't gone with you still. And so, when you see our supporters go to a PLP event, Lord, I don't kill them, man. I give them a break. Give them a break. It ain't mean that they ain't supporting us, but they're supporting unity. We cannot attack them, we cannot ridicule them. And if you think one of them might have strayed for true, as Sean said, engage them, talk to them, and tell them, come home. Come home to Pam. You're still in unity, you know, but we want you in the yellow shirt. We're still in unity, but we want you in the yellow shirt. PLP people are not the enemy. We are together in unity. Lord, I used to love Akila bad when we in school, you know, but she never used to take me on. Just that Alexis get through in front of me. That's my friend. I could call on her anytime and she calls me. PLP people are not the enemy. But I talk in Pam tonight, and I can't talk Pam unless I talk about the next Prime Minister of this country, the Honorable Sean Richards, the leader of the People's Action Movement. Sean was there, like Lindsay, when Pam was at his lowest, and he succeeded. And Sean ain't stopped succeeding, Sean ain't stopped winning. What you say? Sean don't lose. And as long as Pam is under the leadership of Sean, Pam ain't gonna lose either. And so I want to make it very clear. I want to make it very clear that not only as the chairman of the People's Action Movement, as a candidate and representative for constituency number 2, but as a citizen of this country, I, John L. Powell, fully support the Honorable Sean Kenneth Richards. So whoever had any doubt in their minds, get it out your head. John L. with Sean. And where Sean going, John L. going. I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out tonight. I want to say thank you to my executive and my team in Central Bastia. I couldn't do it without you. It ain't about John L. It ain't about Jeppy 2. It's about all of us. Because when Jeppy 2 wins, all of us win. It ain't about me. I'm just a representative. I'm just the face of the team, the face of the constituency. But it's about all of us, and all of us have to work and fight to ensure that we get what is due to Central Bastion, to ensure that we get everything that Central Bastion is supposed to get. And so I say thank you to all of you for your support, for working with me, and to the people of Central Bastion. It's been a rough 2 years. I ain't gone away. I'm right here. Nobody else come to you in this forum or like this. I am right here for you. I know you want to see more of me, and you're going to see more of me, you're going to get more of me, and you're going to get more with me, because this ain't my government, you know. This ain't my constituency. This is our constituency and our government, and all of us are going to come together and work in tandem in one team to ensure that Central Bastia and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis elevate to a higher height. Good evening, people. God bless you. Thank you for coming out.
I believe that we got the strongest part of this unity, which is 4. So if we got the strongest part, we supposed to able enough to say, well, you got the O, but me got the 4.
I love that. I love that. Put your hands together again for your representative for Central Bastia, the Honorable John L. Powell. I just want to remind you that constituency number 4 has a breakfast come April the 9th in Middle Island. I want to see all of you out to my breakfast April 9th in Middle Island. Free advertisement. I want to big up all of those listening to us on Sugar City FM, on Win FM, on Freedom FM, and on our various social media platforms. But somebody sent me a note while Jonel was up here speaking. They said some man on our national radio station, that is ZIZ, I don't know what his name, but they said some man on the national radio station taking out a bit of his text on me. But my grandmother used to say, don't waste time with Sparrowhawk. Don't waste time with Sparrowhawk. So for the Sparrowhawk them who talking, just leave them on the side. The amount of things Jonel said tonight, I thought the man in Parliament and in government since 2015. I think you have to give him a round of applause again for the number of things he's done in just over a year of being in government. The next person I want to call to the microphone needs no recognition. He has been with the People's Action Movement for a very long time. In fact, he was the Lone Ranger in Parliament way back in 2004. And he is now at the helm of the best party in St. Kitts and Nevis, the People's Action Movement. And I must say to you that Sean is steering the ship of state very well. And as Jonel said before me, Sean never lose. And so we are expecting that once we move into the next general election, whenever that is, we are going to have a very winning team under the leadership of Sean Richards. And I'm happy that we have been having these town hall meetings the length and breadth of St. Kitts. And Leader Sean, I hope we are not going to stop with these town hall meetings, because they're very good. We get an engagement from our constituents as to how we're doing. But I want, without further ado, you see, because we want to get the questions in and get as many questions in tonight and as many comments as we want to get tonight. And so I want to bring our leader, your leader, the next Prime Minister, to the platform, the Honorable Sean K. Richards, to deliver his message to us.
To 2 terms in the office of the Prime Minister. 2 terms. And I will be very ready to support the Honorable Sean Richards, the leader of the People's Action Movement, when the time has come, and to bring all of my experience, all of my knowledge, to give him the strongest support so that he can continue to deliver the stronger and safer future. May God bless him. May God bless the people of Sandy Point. May God bless all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. To God be the glory. I thank you.
Show me your rocks, show me your flags. Let up! How the team go for this year? We keep in the promise.
I didn't want to give Vanessa any competition tonight. Members and friends. Members and friends. Central Bell State supporters. Jepito. Jepito. Patsy. No gimmicks. No gimmicks. No gimmicks. Thank you. Tonight, as I begin, I thank the Honorable Lindsey Grant for his introduction this evening. I can't tell you how happy I am to work with the best tourism minister in the Caribbean. Lindsey continues to distinguish himself as a great servant of the people. Not only the people of constituency number 4, but the people of all of St. Kitts and Nevis. When COVID struck, you heard many complaints coming from persons in the tourism sector. Today, you hear persons singing the praises of Lindsey Grant and how tourism continues to rebound in St. Kitts and Nevis. Give Lindsey a round of applause. Equally, I recognize my friend and colleague from constituency number 8. You heard Jonel speaking of the wonderful houses being built here in Central Bastille. Jean has oversight for that, and indeed he has delivered for the people of Central. I have gone into some of those houses, and one must admit that those houses are bigger and better than any houses you have seen previously built in this country. They're not only bigger and better, but those houses are also more affordable. So you have gotten bigger houses, but you have gotten them for less money per month. Laurencia, you got one, and so you know what we are speaking about. Tonight, we are in Central. And of course, I cannot forget the representative for Central Bastille, the Honorable Jonel Powell. Jonel has been doing a fantastic job here in Central Bastille. And as I get into my presentation this evening, I will highlight some more of the things he has been doing in Central. In speaking of Jonel, I must also say a very special good evening to two persons present here tonight, Mr. and Mistress Powell, the parents of Jonel, for the support that they continue to give to him. In her absence, of course, I know that she's listening, and I say a very special hello to Vanessa. You're wrong this time. I say a very special hello to your candidate, Natasha Shani Gray Brooks. I also say hello to persons like Cutie, because I know if Cutie was doing well in terms of our health, Cutie not only would have been here, but you would have heard Cutie voice throughout this town hall meeting. Good night, Cutie. To the hundreds of you who are gathered here this evening, I welcome you. Those of you sitting under the tent, those of you standing up on the side, those out in the road, and those of you sitting in the stands, we welcome all of you. You know, the good thing is that no one had to pay you to come here tonight. You came here because of your commitment. You came here because of your support. You came here because you are interested in the dialogue on what is happening in this country. I speak of persons such as former Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Ralph Gums. Welcome, Ralph. I speak of persons such as the Siders from here in Central Bastille. I speak of persons such as Kim, persons such as Miss Charles, and you have that warrior there who used to walk by Richard Keynes. Shirley can't keep her mouth shut all evening. Welcome, Shirley. And I know John Elaine pay you to be here, Shirley. Pardon? All right. I also say hello and good night to all of the persons listening online and via radio. Welcome to all. It is my honor to be here with you in Central Bastille as we continue the dialogue in the various communities. We had a very refreshing engagement on Monday in constituency number 4. And I am sure that tonight you are ready and willing to match that dialogue from Monday evening. I am particularly proud and happy to be standing here with your Member of Parliament and your Minister of Education, Youth, Sport and Culture, the Honorable Jonel Powell, who in such short a space of time has provided inspiring leadership and guidance in this Central Bastille constituency. We must ensure that Jonel continues to fulfill his true potential, and that can only be done if he is allowed to operate in an atmosphere of real unity. Minister Powell embodies what a good representative should be. He's grounded, he's engaged, and he has compassion for you, the people of Central Bastille. I want to encourage you to always lift him up and always to keep him in your praise. Indeed, I have watched his growth as a minister of government from very close up, and I must say that I am fully satisfied. I passed the baton of the Ministries of Education, Youth, Sport and Culture to Jonel, and I am proud of the job that he continues to do in those ministries. You have heard of upgrades to the Irish Town Primary School, upgrades to the Garden Playfield, the taking of young persons to Dubai, and you have heard about Carnival and the fact that you have women from right here in Central Bastille being given key positions in Carnival. Give Jonel a round of applause. Jonel is a young man, but Jonel reminds us that the People's Action Movement indeed has a deep field of persons. We have a team of capable members who are well placed to lead in their various communities. However, now more than ever, This country is crying out for a special kind of leadership. The country is crying out for servant leadership that puts the interests of the nation and the team ahead of all other considerations. I know many of you have come here tonight to get firsthand what is happening politically in this country. We promise you tonight to have an open and honest discussion with you, and we are prepared to answer all of your questions. Beyond that, however, I would like us to focus on Central Bastille, because a lot of good things have happened in Central Bastille, and Jonel hasn't been the representative for 2 years as yet. But as much as that is true, I also know that Minister Powell is very excited about what lies ahead for the people of Central Bastille. There is a number of things that he has not yet done, but it is not for want of trying. I sit with him in the cabinet. I sit with him at the PAM executive, and he is restless and he is fearless. You could sway from Sandy Point with how fearless he is. And so while we will spare some time for national politics, I really will love for us to focus on the work that has been done and still continues to be done in Central Bastille. However you want to fashion the debate tonight, let us remember two things. One, that PAM is adamant about maintaining a people's agenda and in keeping the promise. And two, that we are also clear that the fight for real unity is essential to ensuring that the gains that we have made in the last 7 years and the potential of what is yet to come. It is crucial and it is urgent that the good governance agenda on which we first came together, that we continue to fight for it. It appears to have fallen on the west side, and it has been to the detriment of all of us. Good governance is fundamental to building this nation and the kind of resilient society that we promote. That is an urgent matter on which we cannot afford to compromise any longer. For those who want to dismiss us and indicate what we care about and we must stand up for, and that we are proposing some agenda, we plead guilty. We plead guilty. Our agenda is about the protection of our gains. Our agenda is promoting good governance in fixed election dates as we have promised the people of this country. Our agenda is freedom of information as we have promised you. Our agenda is the functioning of the integrity in public life legislation. Our agenda is about electoral reform and boundary changes as we promise the people of this country. We have an agenda of fairness in the distribution of homes so that all homes do not go to one constituency. Fairness so that when persons apply for the PAP program, they have a fair chance, and not that you have some people living overseas getting a monthly paycheck from PAP, while the lady from Old Road who is getting minimum wage and looking after her father up until now cannot get on the PAP program. Fairness in the PAP program so that you don't have husband and wife living in the same house, getting PAP every single month, and you have some houses, not even a single individual who qualifies can get on the PAP program. That is the agenda that we have. Our agenda is fairness in the fixing of house roofs, so that while we are being told that the program has come to an end, you still have persons in some constituencies still getting their house roof fixed. That is what our agenda is all about. So if persons say we have an agenda, yes, we are guilty of having an agenda on behalf of the ordinary man and woman of this country. We plead guilty. Our agenda is about reducing wastage and corruption. Our agenda is building a better society where the weakest amongst us benefit the most. We are also in a battle to ensure that all people get a fair share, whether they are in Nevis or right here in Central Bastille. We must be concerned about every family, every single family, not about one family. Indeed, everyone must eat in this country. As I stand here tonight, I can sincerely say that I am confident that we can find solutions to all of our current challenges. But we are under no illusion that this will call for selflessness and mature leadership. It is in that light that earlier this week we here in PAM caucus and in collaboration with our brothers and sisters of CCM had sent a letter to the Prime Minister. We are seeking a dialogue on the way forward and on ways to fix the problems. Tonight I wish to inform you that the meeting is scheduled for Monday of next week, as the Honorable Prime Minister has indicated that he's sick and he is still recovering. I wish him all of the best, and I sincerely wish him all of the best in his recovery efforts. However, I must also express my concerns that while the Prime Minister is recovering, the Prime Minister is seen at hotels in this country having meetings with his advisors and supporters of PLP. And so one wonders, what is the first priority? Your recovery should be your first priority. And so we want him to recover. But your partners have requested a meeting with you. The meeting cannot be accommodated until next week, Monday, because you're recovering. But yet you're at hotels in this country having meetings with advisors from all over the region and with PLP supporters. However, we are still hopeful that things can work out. And while we remain hopeful, let me add that we are not naive. Rest assured that we all stand in defense of real unity. Tonight is not my night. It's your night. So we will gladly take all your questions and carefully consider all of your questions. Thank you.
Short and sweet, sweet. Pam, Pam, sweet, sweet. Pam, nice, nice, nice. Well, we've come to the end of the remarks and the speeches. We want to give you an opportunity to ask your questions. And those who wish to ask questions, there's a mic in the middle of the aisle. You come forward, you state your question, and one of the panelists, to whomsoever you direct that question, will answer that question.
You ain't going to walk.
I recognize Carl.
Good night, everyone. As St. Martin, the Dutch side, and Barbados remove the taxes from gasoline, as we know the war and the high prices, Is there any chance that that is happening here in St. Kitts? Consider the high rise. And we all know over in Nevis, the busmen are making noise for a raise, which was rejected today by the Premier. We understand. And we understand the busman them here is making noise for a raise, which we know that going to be rejected too. So if there is any chance that the taxes will be removed from the gasoline to ease the burden on the traveling public owners of vehicle. The other thing is, there is any chance, Mr. Eugene, a number of the workers at the solid waste asked if there any chance that you're making preparation for them to get a gratuity and a pension. They are saying that workers have been retiring 23 and 24 years without a gratuity and a pension. If anything, we'll be setting up there for them. And the Honorable Sean Richard, I think this might be your area. They asked at the quarry that if some more money could be spent in the quarry, and they're requesting some more equipment to keep the quarry going for the large job that the quarry does to this country. That's my...
Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I am living in Shadwell and I'm having a serious problem because I think you all designated a certain place in Shadwell to be for commercial use, and up in Pine Gardens further up is supposed to be residential. But I realized that a Chinaman gets a permit to put down a supermarket in the residential area. And I don't think that is fair, because when poor people get their money and they go to the bank to build a nice up little house, and now the Chinaman gonna put down a supermarket there, and if we want to sell our house, the value will be dropped. So I really would like you all to look into it, and do not, please, I beg of you, let the Chinaman go down by the commercial area that you all designated, and do not build a supermarket by people good up, nice up, house up there. Number two, Mr. Grant, concerning the taxi story. Gas gone up. I realized that in the beginning, you all said that the busman couldn't go full capacity and these kind of things, and that the taxi drivers them also cannot go full capacity. Well, with the price of gas gone up and things that is happening, we still got up the plastic. But when we got to the pump, Shelita never asked me for using the front or the back of the bus. So the tourists them coming off without the mask. People are comfortable these days. So I beg you, please, to let us take down the plastic and allow, because people going up the airport and picking up people and they jumping anyway and people hugging and people doing things now. So please allow the taxi drivers them to take down the plastic. And number two, you're mashing up the AC in the bus. Every minute you gotta fix your AC in the bus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we could answer those questions thus far. I think the first one was with regards to the removal of taxes because the gasoline prices are high. Leader, you will answer that one?
With regards to the current price of gasoline and how it is affecting the different consumers, including bus operators and taxi drivers, etc. As far as I'm aware, the Ministry of Trade is currently in a number of different discussions on this matter to determine how the consumers of gasoline can be helped. I do not know if the tax is being considered as a removal. What I do recall is that the higher
the price of gasoline goes, the less it is in terms of the government tax that the government is able to collect. Because I think the taxes are basically fixed as some sort of percentage or something of that nature. So when the price is high, the government actually collects far less in terms of the tax revenue from it. However, I think the essential point is that it is currently being looked at by the Ministry of Trade to see what relief can be brought to persons.
Thank you, Honorable Sean Richards. Eugene Hamilton, you could answer the question with regard to the solid waste workers.
What was it again?
Basically, the question was, there are a number of persons at the solid waste who've worked for a number of years, 20 plus years, appear not to have any gratuity or pension in place. We intended to look at that in any way.
Thank you for the question. If I may, Carl Brown, yes, Carl. I appreciate the fact that you do make the rounds and you do talk to so many people and that they actually engage you to speak for them. Sometimes that's a good thing. I know you're not fearful at all of expressing on behalf of the people their concerns, so I thank you for that. This is a phenomenon that the government inherited, because as you realize, solid waste and NHC and those things started operation all the way back in 1996. So for so many years under the previous administration, that had not been addressed. The first attempt that I'm aware of to address this at solid waste is in 2017, when I brought an actuary here from Trinidad and Tobago, invited them to meet with the management team and the staff for designing a product we call a pension scheme that will provide something when retirement comes. The challenge that they face, as far as I'm aware, is the cost of administration of a pension scheme by those who do so, like insurance companies, is significant. And it makes no sense for them, I understand, to pay like $250,000 just to pay for a small pension scheme like that. So we have been looking at turning it into what you call a savings scheme. It is similarly done by the Social Security for its staff. And in any event, once we do it, there will be a retroactive portion, because recognizing that I said 2017, we will definitely at least go back to 2017. Of course, that will not satisfy those persons because they're thinking of going back to 1996. But I don't know how to respond to that on my own. That will require a cabinet decision, because it would mean that you'll have to get resources out of the consolidated fund to pre-fund the period that was never funded. That is a question I can't answer directly without further engagement of the cabinet of the country. But I can tell you, I am glad you raised it, and you can bet that tomorrow morning I will see what progress has been made so far. What I can tell you is that at NHC, it is in progress, and it was only yesterday, that I had spoken with the chair of that organization on what the benefits are. I had submitted to them a proposal, and so I will say the NHC is a couple of steps ahead of them with that. So yes, it's a matter, I'm glad you raised it.
The third question was with respect to the quarry and whether or not we are intending to spend any more money and equipment to keep the quarry going. I'll let the leader answer that.
With response to the question about the quarry, what I can say to you is that from time to time, the ministry has meetings with the different departments within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Post and Urban Development. During those meetings, the staff of the various departments would voice their concerns. Those concerns are noted, and then we go about the process to see how best
we can satisfy those concerns. Indeed, we have had concerns coming from persons working at the quarry. We have looked within our budget to see what we can address during this current fiscal year, and there are some other things which, of course, we would have to pursue, whether it is in the next fiscal year or some other year. But we prioritize the concerns coming from the various departments and try to address them as best as possible. Sometimes the process may entail actually going back to Cabinet with a Cabinet submission to get the funding if it is deemed to be that urgent and that important, and the current financial budget doesn't give us support to us being able to do it within the fiscal year.
The other question was with regard to the Shadwell area, commercial and the residential area, and the fact that a supermarket appears to be in the area of the residential portion. You care to comment on that, Leader?
Certainly. Different areas are zoned for different purposes. For example, you would have areas zoned for residential development, some for commercial development, some for industrial development, etc. If persons in the Shadwell area recognize that a particular activity is taking place there, and they feel that that activity ought not to be because the area wasn't zoned for that particular purpose, those persons can take their concerns to sustainable development. Sustainable development then has a responsibility to investigate those particular concerns and to determine if the particular type of establishment should be operating in that area. So for example, if an area is zoned for residential development, then you shouldn't have persons having mechanic shops there. Now, in the case of the supermarket, when a supermarket is being built, the owners of the supermarket should have submitted the plan for the supermarket to the Development Planning and Control Board. The Development Planning and Control Board in granting permission to build in any particular area should ensure that the area is designated for that particular purpose.
Thank you. The last question concerned the taxes that are running in St. Kitts and whether or not the time has not come to remove the plastic that is separating the guests from the driver. I would say that's an ongoing discussion, and I would indicate to you that I can bring this up again with the Ministry of Health and the task force that's within their domain to determine whether or not the time has come to pull that down. No. So that's a matter that we probably can engage them in again as to whether or not the time has come now to remove those. I know at the moment we have no COVID active cases here, but as you know, worldwide there's still a variant of the Omicron surfacing. So based on that, we'll have a discussion with them to see if they're minded to release or relax the protocols that are currently on the books. That's as much as I would say with respect to that. Any more questions?
All right, good night.
Good night.
All right, my name is Kyle Flanders. I'm currently employed at the Ministry of Agriculture as an Assistant Secretary. And so I'm here to basically represent agriculture, the ministry, and the sector. Because it seems to me as though PAM has all but given up on agriculture. I know there's a CCM minister who's in charge of agriculture, but the reality is it's saying it's people in agriculture feeling the squeeze. And right now, a lot of palm persons in agriculture are getting a lot of knockout, a lot of licks. For example, there are 3 senior members in the ministry, all PAM. I mean, talking about just vote PAM. These are real supporters, old school PAM. And those 3 persons bathe the skin every day, get ready for work, to go in the office to do nothing, absolutely nothing, and collect a paycheck. That can't be right. Right? I know there are 2 young ladies, both PAM again, 2 young ladies who have been moved within the ministry 4 times in 1 year. We're talking young ladies with children who have been moved 4 times in a year all across town. So imagine if you schedule every morning and that get interrupted regularly. That can't be right. I don't think there's anywhere in the private sector where an organizational structure is changed every month. That can't be right. That cannot be right. I personally am one of those persons who is suffering from that kind of knockout. And I supported Janelle in the last, well, I voted in Central since I started voting. I ain't PAM since me a little boy. Right? Getting real knockout right now. Right? The reality is, PAM is not looking out for persons in agriculture. There's no representation in there from the PAM party. And we need to feel that representation. I've written to HR and other persons without any kind of, to no avail. Right? I'm not the only one. A lot of us in there are feeling the squeeze and the pressure. Not only from a personal perspective, but I'm saying from a political point of view. How is it that PAM would have just given up the agricultural sector? Farmers who want assistance, who do you think they're going to look to for assistance? Who do you think they're going to credit with assistance? Right now, basically the Prime Minister and the peers running the ministry. The minister has no say in the ministry. He's not doing anything in the ministry like that. That can't be right. So imagine that you go and try to obtain a vote from a farmer, fisher. It's one of 2 things. It's either they vote somebody else because they got the support from them, or they ain't vote PAM because PAM ain't support them. One of the 2 ways. And neither way is an advantage for us. So, PAM need to look into the Ministry of Agriculture, persons supporting them strongly, getting real knockout in there. Look into it. I've been asking 3 months now. I right now put Zante, nothing to do at all at the whims of somebody. Just they're feeling in the feelings and they just say to do what they want. That can't be right. Right? So me got a question, I'm just saying, look out for your people in all the ministries, not just the ones that you guys are heading. All. That's my part tonight. Thank you.
I want to thank you very much for your input. Thank you very much.
Hello, good night, everyone. My name is Nesta, right? And I come from Newtown. I used to work at Casper. They turned me away for no reason. And I am an entrepreneur right now, right? And they give me a house and I don't even know how I could pay for it. I don't know how I could pay for it. Because they turned me away from up Casper. They turned me away from up Casper. I get a house from Ayo. How can I pay for it? How can I? I walk every day on the road with my sugar cake and my lit what's it not to do. I'm not going to thief. I'm not going to rob anybody. Or you give me a house, 1 baker's corner. And here what's going on now. I ain't got no children, I ain't got nothing. All I have is a little puppy. And here what's going on now. They say me puppy doing them bad. And if they want my puppy to go out of the house, they're gonna throw me out too. Come here for that, Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant, I know you. And I worked for Casper many years and they turned me away for no reason. A young woman like me, hear them or you abuse them. And if I ever tell, the only problem I had is my period problem. My period problem. I tell them I have a period problem. They tell me bring the doctor work. And when I bring it, they tell me that is not enough evidence.
Okay, I understand your concerns. We will look into it.
Why?
We will look into your
A young
concerns.
woman like me, a young, beautiful young. I may come here for that, you know. I just come here to talk my mind and tell all you what's going on.
Understood.
All you give me a house.
Understood. We thank you.
All you give me a house. All you give me a house. Don't make us corner. Somebody else to come pay for it.
Thank you.
Excuse me. My name is James Webb. Okay, Mr. Grant. Oh my God, it's Ramcat. James Webb. Look here. I don't want to put no pressure on you. I don't want to put no pressure on my PAM party. My mother was with honor for all the years. I do great for my mother. And my mother happy still for PAM. And I'm not going to give him Miss Huggins and Mr. Huggins and the whole of the PAM party. I will always be there to honor PAM. I don't care. But the people of the country, we got to hold on, man. We got to do it, man. Do it.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's not tearing on each other. It's not tearing on each other. Look here, it's not who you are, who you be, or what. We just gotta love each other. Live at one another. I mean, look here, look at me. Look at me. All the years I know, I voting for PAM. Look, I know I beg PAM nothing. I work with PAM people, them. Oh, Ramcat. My mother, she work for PAM people, them. I know her, but I don't, look here. I don't want no racistness. Let's the country be Labour and PAM. Because don't break us. Look here, we just gotta do what you gotta do. We just gotta live. Everybody gotta live. Cause you want it, I want it. I love the country.
Yeah.
But everybody fighting every day, every night, every day.
Thank you,
and
thank you.
You got the policeman them trying to fight the people. Young policeman, one box people. Look here, Lindsay, if we want the country to be all right, let's get together.
All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Webb. Thank you, Mr. Webb. Any other questions, concerns, comments?
Let's go here. Mr. Grant, since 1971, me a PAM. Me a water PAM all the time. Right? And me getting a load of knockabout. You okay? I want me truck fixed. I want some money to fix me truck. A unity man come to me now at Old Road. Tell me, vote for him and he gonna fix me truck. Well, me not do that, you know. Me not do that. Right? Me a PAM since me PAM for you. Right? And me not change. But I get a lot of knockabout. But work with me, I work with you. Don't play with me. I work with you, know.
Okay, courage.
Right? But let me tell you something. Keep on here with the fucking man up on Nevis. Yeah. He a walk a trick. He a walk a trick. He a walk a trick. He a smart man. He a walk a trick. Do that. Follow him the first step. Because right now, if you're going to follow him, right now we got 3 units shot and me put on one every day and so because Timothy, me not got against him, you know. Right? He work with me good because sometimes when I broke and I go by him and he give me a little change, yes. Right? But me not change from PAM. Right? He don't give me a little change. Right? But work with me too. things not go good.
Okay,
I want
Coach.
me truck fixed, so.
Thanks for your comments,
Walk with
Coach.
me. Okay?
Thank you.
Because I'm not change pam. Since 1971, I'm a pam now. Walk with me and I walk with you all the time.
Thank you.
Help me fix my truck too. I want to make a living. Okay?
Thank you for your comment. I'm going to take one more set of questions. The last set of questions, if you have any, please. The last set of questions, so we can move into the... If there are no further questions, we'll go to the vote of thanks. But any other question?
Good night.
Good evening.
My name is Sasha Flanders, and I'm a proud supporter of the PAM party. Tonight, just two things I would like to address. As a mother of a child who likes to play basketball and a mother of a child who damages foot while playing basketball, I would like to remind my representative of the need for a proper basketball facility. I'm just here to remind you for the need for such a facility. My son likes basketball very much, and I don't want him to get damaged because as soon as a little rain falls, the game's got to put off. Sometimes I go 3 days out of the week to support, and the game start, little rain come, game put off, got to come the next day, next game start. So it's a struggle with the facility that they have up there. Another thing I've realized though, when it comes to the males, I find that the males are highly outnumbered when it comes to distribution of houses. I think that we need to see more males getting houses. Let the males bring in their family or whatever, bring in a wife, bring in a girlfriend, but I find when I look at the pictures of those who get houses, I realize it's more women than male. The males them don't want houses to live in, so? Huh? Nothing wrong with that. I have 2 sons, and maybe one of these days they might want a house, so I have to look out for them. So I would like you to please consider the ratio between the males and the females when it comes to the distribution of housing. If you don't give them the house, at least give them land then, something. But that is what I'm here to speak on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Flanders. Mr. Paul, you want to address the one with the basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
Mr. Paul, can you address the basketball question? You have a basketball question too?
Of course, since 1992.
Okay, so...
Since 1992.
So... Ask that question so the minister can answer the two of them in one. Comment.
Say what I have to say first. Then I'm not going to ask question. Well, I'm going to ask question after that. And I'm hoping I get a good response.
Okay.
I'm going to start off. I work for government since 1998 of May. I've been coaching basketball ever since before coins come. Right. There were 30 coaches in St. Kitts in the 90s. Only 10 passed. The 2 youngest was myself and Shane Franks. Shane Franks in South Dakota right now. I've been asked to coach basketball in high schools, which I did that voluntarily. I was successful also. I was the only coach in St. Kitts that took a high school team to St. Kitts 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. And all the players them back then in the 90s to now, they are big man. But they're younger than me, I coach them. I want to know what is it I have to do, because there are players and people who were coaching basketball under the previous administration that were not qualified. They are, one or two is qualified now, but some of them before, not qualified. I am qualified. How did I can do? I voted for you all. I voted for Jonel. I voted for Dr. Simmons, and I'm proud to say I am a Simmons Pam. I'm a Simmons Pam. Who want to make noise, make noise. Mayfield to say so. Uncle all right. I'm a Simmons Pam. So I can't go work in the sports department. If you look at all the basketball, I've coached, I end up leave Market Street team to coach St. Paul's basketball team. St. Paul's now have hitters on 19, can't reach 20. Because of me? So wow, what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
No, hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. Me ain't done yet. Is the time limit? Oh, okay. Well, all I want to know, why is it that me, St. Clair Buchanan, who been coaching basketball, I've coached the minister also of my representative Central Bastille. Don't laugh, I'm serious.
You train him? You coach him?
From his house. Not only that, in 1981, his mother and father was my parents in Carifesto. Am I lying, Auntie Al? Am I lying, Milo? Me lying, me for this or something. Why is I can't coach basketball? I'm a qualified coach. I'm a qualified coach. I just want to know why I'm not getting to do. It's because of Rasta. I've coached, remember I told you, I took high school team to St. Croix 3 years. We never had discrepancy. Miss Cable no one say, oh, we have thieving going on, we have this going on, we have that going on. What do I have to do?
Thank
That's
you.
all I want to find out.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to direct the two basketball issues to the Minister of Sport, Jonel Powell, to answer.
In relation to the question about a proper basketball facility, I'm assuming you mean an indoor facility. There have been a number of proposals for those over the years, and there is currently one before the Department of Sport. I believe that, in my mind, there needs to be some tweaking to it, but we have every intention of constructing a proper indoor basketball facility in St. Kitts and Nevis. You'd appreciate that not much capital projects could have been done over the last 2 years, certainly, because of COVID. But I give a commitment that we will look to see how we can construct that indoor facility as soon as possible. And I want to plant the seed now that having built a facility of that nature, the only name that could go on that indoor basketball facility is that of James Barman Hanley. In relation to the second question from Mr. St. Clair Heads Buchanan, my former basketball coach. Heads, you forgot to tell them why the team didn't go to St. Croix the 4th straight year. Because they said that we won too many. You remember they said we win too much and must give somebody else a do. Well, I can say it. Well, I can say it. They said we won too much and we must give somebody else a do.
No, we never win in St. Croix.
No, we won in St. Kitts. And they didn't want us to travel a 4th straight year. Now, I can attest to Heads' acumen when it comes to basketball and his qualifications. The reality is we do have limited spaces within the Department of Sport in terms of coaches. I agree that there was a policy whereby not everybody was qualified in terms of coaching certificates. That is a policy. The director is here. He knows it. This is something that we've spoken to the coaches about. I don't think it's fair for me or anybody to go and get rid of somebody because they don't have the qualification, but we're giving them the opportunity to get qualified first. And if after a certain time persons don't want to get qualified, because I believe in order to teach somebody you must have the proper qualifications, then we take the necessary actions. Certainly going forward, we've already put the policy in place that to come into the Department of Sport as a coach, you must have the necessary coaching certificates within the different sports. As it relates to you specifically, certainly since I have been the Minister of Sport over the course of the last 2 years, we have not had those openings within the department. It is not a secret that over the last 2 years people have been losing their jobs. The government can't take on everybody. You have positions, you will have positions where you have many people qualified for them. But until that position becomes available, I can't just take you on like that. And so all I'm saying, ensure that your application, ensure that you have an application before the department, before the ministry, and when an opportunity comes up, I will try my best to see how we can incorporate you and anybody else who at the point in time may be qualified.
1, 2, testing. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, here, Mr. I have applied since 1992. This is 2022.
Heads.
You hear the long difference?
Heads. Have you put in a
I
recent
have
application?
coached. Let me speak. I have coached under the present the first Prime Minister when we bang. Where's Mr. Heiliger in here? Sandy Point, the first year. Oh, yeah. Your mic?
Eds, you put in an application recently?
Recently? Well, here, I'm glad you come
So,
to that. No, wait, Mr. Grant, wait. I'm glad you said that, you know. Mr. Grant, remember I spoke to you and General Don Port Zanti. You all told me, Mel, the minister said, put in the application on Monday. The Wednesday, I called the minister to find out who should I tension the letter to directly, whatsoever. I received a message saying there's no more position there. So how do you think I should feel? Knowing that I've supported the party, I've supported the minister, my good friend. I've coached him also. He knows I'm a good coach.
So my suggestion is, as quickly as possible, you get in an application to the Ministry of Sports.
So that when a position becomes available, it can be considered. I can't find the application for 92, so please put in a new one.
No, Mr. Grant, are you aware that on the government laws, I've been working in government since 1998, government have employed people without application, have their position and so forth? Thank you very much.
I'll entertain one more question, if there are any, and bring the session to a close with the vote of thanks. But there was one question I think was unanswered that I'll pass that to the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, and that's about maybe the time has come for us to look at a ratio in terms of distribution of houses. No men seem to be getting any, or if men are getting, not sufficient men are getting these houses. You have an answer for that?
I agree with you, lady. Ms. Panders, thanks for the suggestion. I agree with you.
I must also say that's a matter I've been very concerned about also. The scarcity of men getting houses. So Hamilton, that is something we maybe need to look at. I don't know what the solution is, but maybe that's something that can be addressed.
I ask for my colleague's support. You hear, Lindsay? I ask for my colleague's support.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm from Sandy Point, Crab Hill. I come from Faray and I raised up Statia. my grandmother my parents was Pam. I went to check for a house. And when I went to check for the house, it told me I have to wait till the program, right? I come from St. Martin, 2014. My daughter helping me, Saddlers now, paying rent all the time. So I don't know how long I must wait. I always vote for my family, Sandy Point. Sean, Honorable Rebel, Sean Richards, Honorable Sean. All the time is Sean. No gimmicks, no tricks. I'm not leaving Sean. So I want to know how long could I get a house? My daughter in Stacia helping me, Jacinth Dorset, and I don't want to depend on my daughter. I went to get a work. Through the COVID, I was working, but a girl told me, was Marilyn, I have to pay my own secure. I have to pay social. So I'm not working, I was working, but I just wanted to know how I'm going to get the house because now my daughter going to help me pay for it. My mother in St. Thomas not coming back. I could get my house, pay for my house to look after my mommy. I from Sandy Point, Crab Hill. Love you all. I'm not voting for nobody else. I'm not Sean. I'm not laying down my gads. Janelle, love Janelle. I love unit Janelle all the time. And I love my family with all my life.
We love you too.
I love you too.
We love you too. Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
And Sean gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
We want to bring the...
Work on that for me.
Thank you. We want to bring the curtains down with a vote of thanks. I call Daria Motor to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. I would like to thank everyone who came in person to show their support, as well as our viewers in the virtual world. I say a huge thank you to all of our presenters tonight, the young Pamites, our elected representatives. Kudos to our production team and Equinox Sounds, our host DJ for tonight. I say thanks to Central's PAM executive team for their continued support and for their efforts in making this town hall a success. Stay close and follow our town hall train as we champion the message of keeping the promise to you. Feel free to enjoy some refreshments. Safe journeys home. Good night.
And just two housekeeping matters.
Some timid souls in PAM telling others, don't say PAM, just say unity. Hell no.
Two housekeeping matters. The first one, breakfast, April 9th, Middle Island. And the second one is that we have the next town hall meeting in Boyd's on Monday. Boyd's on Monday, the next town hall meeting. It's on the Hard Court in Boyd. And Thursday, Bombers Park in Cayon. In Connery, sorry. Bombers Park in Connery on Thursday. We want to thank you for coming out. Get home safely and see you at the next town hall meeting of the People's Action Movement.